Friedrich Merz, who is set to become Germany's next chancellor, says talks are underway to form a coalition government with the Social Democrats. He has pledged to have a government in place by Easter at the latest. Merz's Conservatives want a massive boost in defence spending to help strengthen European security. But he says it is too soon to say whether the outgoing parliament could wave that through. It's also unclear how that would be financed. Our chief political editor, Michaela Küffner, joins us now. She was at that press conference where Friedrich Merz was just speaking. So, Michaela, Friedrich Merz is really putting a lot of focus on this, isn't he? That he wants to form a new government as quickly as possible. What progress is he making?
Well, there's no results yet that he can speak about, but he certainly didn't waste any time. He spoke to Lars Klingbeil, who is the next generation of leadership, following Olaf Scholz, who's still the current chancellor of the Social Democrat SPD party. We didn't hear details about those talks. He met with current still chancellor Olaf Scholz today. And we know that the issue number one is, of course, forming a government. But the even more pressing issue is defense spending and actually taking a stance, speaking with one voice, as Europe is so much under pressure by the Trump administration. And that will require a huge financial commitment that will need to be found. There's a number, 200 billion, which Friedrich Merz, when I asked him about it, would neither confirm nor deny, which could be a potential extra spending package. The problem is, these elections may have propelled him to the top. He won these elections with his Conservatives, but the parties of the centre who are in favour of more spending no longer make up a two-third majority in the future parliament. So we may see the old parliament called upon one more time to make that transition possible, to decide on a potential huge spending package. And that's, at the moment, what we understand both sides are speaking about, even before they get to the nitty-gritty of forming a governing coalition.
OK, but once this coalition has been formed, you just mentioned defence there, obviously a huge priority. But what are the other most pressing policy challenges that his new government will have to tackle?
Well, the interesting thing is that now there might be consensus that defence spending is the number one issue, but that really wasn't what voters learned most about during that election campaign. There, the economy and migration are top of the list. That order changed, interesting enough, when Friedrich Merz spoke about the top challenges there. He had security at the very top. And here, too, he will need to seek a compromise which could prove very difficult. Friedrich Merz announced that on day one he would make sure that migrants trying to enter Germany, wanting to claim asylum, coming from a safe country, would be sent back from the border. Well, that's something the Social Democrat SPD, who he wants to go into a coalition with, simply won't stand for, because they say it's illegal under European law. So that's just illustrating one of the big divides the two sides will have to bridge.
And what else was Merz talking about during the press conference that he gave earlier?
Well, he wants to see a focus on the voting legislation here in Germany, which changed. It caps the number of MPs to just above 600. But he's not being successful in changing attention to that, because also the economy, of course, is an issue that will require huge investment. His argument is money invested will reap rewards. It will allow for the next government to actually take in even more in taxes, and that will cost. But pushed on how he will finance all of this, he says he has to look into the books. It's too early for him to answer.
DW's chief political editor, Michaela Küffner. Michaela, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much.